Hey guys, Jesse here for Shred and Enjoy, and today I'm going to be sharing how buying an 11-foot surfboard, which might seem like a joke to you, is actually the cures for your crowded surf break blues. So why does an 11-foot 2-inch long surfboard that sounds like a joke, I bought as a joke, we all laughed at when I bought it, why is that fun? And why do I think maybe you would possibly enjoy this? For me, surfing is about catching waves. It's not about watching other people catch waves. It's not about the frustrating experience there. It's not about getting gassed paddling out. I like the surfing side of surfing, and I'm pretty sure most people do. There's a lot of other things than surfing that actually are the majority of time surfing. Like if you really broke down what happened over the course of 2 hours of surfing, you probably spent 30 minutes on waves and an hour and a half paddling back, positioning, dealing with getting out, dealing with crowds. Like there's so much more to surfing than the actual surfing. It's actually not the majority of it. Kind of like fishing isn't about catching fish. The majority of fishing is the process. Which is specifically why people who are good at wake surfing, rarely does it translate to a good experience ocean surfing. Because the ability to surf and do things while surfing is not the majority of what you need for surfing. The paddling out is a ton of effort and a bunch of time. I think it was just last week on video, I got like a minute-long surf, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a 10 or 15-minute paddle back afterwards. And that's with fresh arms. Like later in the day, if you have to take a break or two on your way, that really starts to add up. And so that sort of stuff of surfing is tough. And a lot of times people also like position and paddle for waves and miss. Like positioning is a factor. There's just so much that goes into it. And if for you, surfing is where the fun is at, which most people it is, and you're not going to probably go pro with this, like most people aren't, a huge board will let you maximize all of the other details and reduce their influence of detracting from the experience of surfing and like actually being on the wave. So that takes form in multiple ways. Specifically, one, you can cover a lot more ground with a lot less energy on a big board. And that means the amount of energy you take to get out will be less, and thus you can do more trips out, and thus you can catch more waves. It will also be faster. I cannot paddle any of my shorter boards or even any of my high volume mid lengths nearly as well as this 11-foot board. So I can get out there sooner, which again, if you've only got 2 hours till sunset after work, you've only got so much time. Why burn it, tiring yourself out? You get out there more often. So you can get out there more often with less energy, with energy left over, which is energy you need then to paddle for waves. Then even catching the wave, you need to have, you've got your window in which you can catch it where it's walled up enough that, it's got enough push for you, but it's not so walled up it's going to dump you or break, or crash on you. And so with an 11-foot board, you can catch some waves like really far out and pretty darn easy. And so you really maximize that window. Or, again, as it starts to wall up to a certain point, you can change your takeoff. You can also fade if you're not like near the peak. If the peak's down, you can fade back. Like, God, the amount of space you can take off from on a longboard, especially a really big one, is massive. And so that increases the amount of, or the chances of waves coming that you could even get on. And then it increases that you can even get on it because it's easier to paddle and go for. So all of these things really reduce that outside of surfing, I want to say stressors, but like detractors, like the process. They simplify the process to make getting out there and surfing a lot more reasonable. And yeah, you can get a jet ski and skip all that process if someone dragged you out or whatever. But for most people who don't want to buy jet skis and don't want to do something outlandish like that, this is an option. And Then there's the actual surfing itself, which is where people will kind of decry this. They're like, well, yeah, you'll get more waves and you'll get them more, but the experience on the wave isn't that good. And I would disagree. And I would even disagree with myself on this one, because like prior to me having this board, I was like, yeah, longboard's like great for small days, but as soon as it gets some hot sauce on it, you want to be on a bigger board so you can have some fun. And I would even argue with that version of me, the earlier version, where like a big board is a surprising amount of fun. And I like to describe it as like drifting a dump truck. Like, I don't know if any of you guys grew up somewhere snowy and got to like slide all sorts of silly vehicles around, whether it was for fun or learning how to do it for fun. Hopefully you didn't do it in an unfun way. But like, there's a lot of fun you can have slipping and sliding some of this stuff around. And if you are any good and you've got a well-made longboard like this one just happens to be, like, you can really rip this thing around. And I can do cutbacks on it. I can walk around and trim and make it work. I can do all sorts of, I can slalom through crowds. Like, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, a shorter board's more agile and a lot more interesting, but like, you just don't get the same experience with it because you're spending a lot of time contending with the process, the paddling out, the window of opportunity. And you know, I didn't even mention etiquette. Etiquette is totally a thing, like priority. That's another factor that like keeps you necessarily from surfing, because someone else has priority. You don't want to drop in on them. You don't want to have accidents. You don't want to piss anyone else off. You want to let that person have their good experience too. But what happens when, you know, you go out there and everyone else is on a different board that lets them get more priority? And so then you further reduce the ability to catch waves, because all those people are going to get them in places you can't be further out. They're first to feet and closer to the pocket. Like, they get that wave. And it's a real bummer to sit there and watch everyone, crowd of tiny longboarders just go around you. And so that 11-foot board reduces the energy to get out. It increases your chances of catching wave, increases the odds that you're going to be in position of priority, which translates to more waves, which translates to surfing. And so, yeah, if you're out there to surf and you want to surf, consider a giant board. It's actually a lot of fun. All right, guys. Hopefully something there spoke to you. And yeah, feel free to try it out. I'm telling you, grab a big board. You're going to have fun with it. If it's used, you're going to be able to sell it for what you're into it. Pick it up. Go have a good time. Or even just keep it around for your beginner friends on small days, or I don't know, do something with it. But whatever the story is, I hope you took something away from this. I hope you go have fun with it surfing. And yeah, hopefully it'll catch you out there on the waves. Please like and subscribe to the video. I appreciate it. We try and put out more content, such as, for example, we did a custom skateboard with my own design on it recently. And yeah, through this video, I got to talk to the owner of the shop and connect a little bit more with them. I think it was the owner, maybe it was a manager, but someone at the shop. And I've since done more designs. I'm going to do another video on all this. And yeah, check it out. And as a matter of fact, we're actually going to start selling skateboards with our designs on it through that shop. I got to specify the markup for the different skateboards, and they are $0 to $4 of markup depending on the design you go for. So I'd be stoked just to see someone shredding these, and they're fun for getting around, or yeah, I don't know, grab them. Or maybe you just like them for art. That's what I'm eventually going to do, is hang them up here. But yeah, check out our skateboards. Check out our future videos about skateboarding, surfing, mountain biking. Hopefully we're going to do some soon about, we got a big one coming for 15 things that are really kooky but actually work in surfing. I'm real excited to finish that here soon. And yeah, so check it all out. Thanks for checking out the video and staying this far to the end. And I hope to see you guys around. Stay rad.